What's going on, my Dawbills? D-Money here. Thought I'd switch up the background for this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the reasons why I love My Hero Academia. I haven't been watching the show for as long as most fans have. It's something that I wouldn't say recently, but a little while back I came across upon and thought, you know, I think I'll give the show a try. It's interesting. I've heard like one or two things from it. I've actually seen a couple characters from like con videos. So I thought, you know, let's jump right into this, see what everyone's into. Now the first point is actually going to explain what the show is for all those who don't know it. And that is story. Now, My Hero Academia is about a world in which the Earth is 60% made up of humans that have superpowers. But they don't call them superpowers, they call them quirks. I think that's a really interesting word. I really like it. And I just think it's a good premise for a show. Because the main character, Izuku Midoriya, also known as his hero name Deku, he is born without a quirk. His mother and father both have a quirk, but we only know about his mom's quirk of levitation, which is she can levitate small items. Anything bigger than that is past her limit. With the story, it's about Izuku Midoriya. He is born quirkless. He wants to become a hero more than anything. And he ends up running into the world's #1 superhero, All Might. All Might, he even just looks like what a stereotypical superhero would look like. It turns out once the two meet and Izuku asks All Might if he can become a superhero even without a quirk, All Might tells him at first no, but he ends up getting his answer changed to yes, and that's because All Might can give his power to Izuku, which is actually part of his power, and his power is one for all. It's a power that can be transferred from a hero to hero, and All Might's time is slowly coming to an end. Secretly though, so that way the public and all the villains don't know. And so Izuku wants to join this school for superheroes so he can become a professional superhero, and quirks are also set up like guns. They need to be registered, and if you use them it's illegal and you could be fined or get jail time. But if it's a small quirk like levitation, then it's treated like jaywalking. To finish up the first point, just to make this go a little quicker, Izuku basically just goes to this, he ends up getting into the school, he starts training, starts to get the one for all power used to his body. He has the hardest time trying to get this power to work for him, which makes sense because he wasn't born with it, so his body's not used to it, and if he uses the power, he could break his fingers, his hands, or his entire arms or legs. It's a really awesome concept for a show, and I love it. The characters are all great. I always have a hard time memorizing people's names when I first meet them, and that's especially true when it comes to shows that were made in Japan. So, anime characters always have the hardest names for me to memorize. Izuku Midoriya, the main character, is easy for me to remember because it's said a lot. I mainly remember everyone's names by their hero names: Deku, Uravity. I don't know Kacchan's superhero name. Kacchan's like his rival, but they are all great. There's some weird quirks that they have, but each character does have some great designs, and they all have great character development. It's just great seeing them all start off at the beginning of the year as just freshmen, and it's almost like a college, and they're just trying to master their quirks, learn what it's like to be a superhero, and just grow as people. The costumes on the show are great. I don't think there's a single costume that I don't like. I love Kacchan's just giant grenade fists that can store up his nitroglycerin like liquid sweat into them, and when he pulls the trigger a big explosion comes out. And then Uravity's giant pink boots, and the her costume, how it has the pink stripe down the middle, it reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man's sort of like whole stripe thing. And then her helmet's cool. I believe Agent 13 is the name of the space lady who has the quirk Black Hole. That's a cool costume. All Might's Silver Age suit is definitely my favorite. And then Tenya's armor looks cool. It's got his quirk is Engine, which is basically super speed. He's got pipes coming out of the back of his calves, which is pretty cool. And he just looks like a mini version of those giant anime robots. But Izuku Midoriya's costumes, that's right, costumes. He's by far the one character with the most costume changes in the show. He starts off with, he's got this, I'm counting this, it's like a jumpsuit. It's just blue with white stripes. It's what he wears in his exam. And then he gets this costume that his mother makes for him where he looks like a bunny, and or a rabbit. He's got the ears, and then he's got a smile, and then All Might even notices and says, "You look so much like me. We need to keep this a secret. Come on, kid." And it's green. He's got red on it too. It's really cool. I have pictures popping up, I'm sure. And then his second suit, UA changes for him because they weren't the ones to create his suit, and each suit is designed to go along with their quirks and help them stabilize their quirks. And so his next suit looks more like a jackrabbit, I've heard, but I've never seen him put on his hood. I've seen him use his little metal mask, which is cool. And then from all the pictures and videos I've seen of his upcoming suits, it's all the same, just a little bit of changes. A lot of kid and superhero shows nowadays, they are terrible when it comes to continuity. Rick and Morty is by far the best of this past few years for continuity, but My Hero Academia is pretty good when it comes to continuity with past supervillain attacks and what the characters have done in the past, like if they gotten scars on their bodies. And it's just great to see when a show has great continuity. The design and art style of the show is great. It originally started out as a manga, and I love how they were able to make a TV show look so much like a comic that's like live action motion, or not live action, but a motion comic. I really like that. Even with All Might's design, how part of his face is all black and his eyes are, or his eye sockets are black, and sometimes you can see his blue eye glow. It's really cool. And then with how every time something shocking happens, they're all like, ah, and then you got the black lines coming down, red eyes, and just the design and art style is a lot better than most cartoons that are coming out these days. It's just great. The last thing that I have to say is each episode leaves me wanting more. Just when you think, oh, this is getting good, or the whole episode is good, but this part, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I definitely don't want to look away. I want to see what's gonna happen. Episode ends, and you're like, what? It's been 22 minutes already? I need to see more. And then that's where binge watching comes in for me. But there's so many times where I was watching the show and I just thought to myself, I gotta know what happens. I can't stop here for the day. I just gotta keep going. And I was able to knock season 3 out so quickly because it was just so much stuff that I needed to know what was gonna happen. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I want you all to comment down below which is your favorite My Hero Academia character and or what was your favorite episode from the show. That is if you guys have seen My Hero Academia. But anyways, I want you to rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and have a great and wonderful day. Goodbye.
Do you remember how I gave my power to you? What I said that day? Eat this! No, not that part.